Okay, sure. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, you guys. Hopefully my dog will quiet down. So I usually start about 12:05 just to give everyone a chance to log in. If you've been in my class before, you know that. Let's go ahead and get ready. So if it is your first time, welcome. I'm trying to get a good angle here. If it is your first time to my class, welcome, welcome. Just drop me a message in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me and see me okay. If the music is okay, if it's not too loud. I usually give it about 5 minutes to start just to allow everyone to do the whole sign-up process and all that jazz. So again, if it is your first time, welcome. We will be doing a half-hour class today. It'll be kind of pretty much like a teaser of my hour class, okay? Somebody just drop in the, all good. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. If it is your first time, again, this is a bit of a teaser for my 1 hour class. We will be focusing more in depth on my 1 hour class and splits and back bends, and we go a little bit deeper. We do more ab work and all that jazz, right? So that's on Tuesdays. Thursday is a new class we're doing, hit leg day. So we'll be doing hit leg day and stretch, which we'll be working on low body, but we will also stretch as well. All right, so just giving you guys a heads up as to what to expect for class, right? We'll be working on some mobility today, and we'll be touching on, again, flexibility, core, but everything will be kind of like a little bit more of a teaser, more condensed version of my 1 hour class. Our warm-up today, you guys, we will be doing a five exercise interval timed warm-up. Okay, it's very, again, mobility geared kind of a thing, right? So we're warming up the body through mobility exercises to increase that functionality of oh, you have no audio. To increase functionality and mobility of the body while working on flexibility. Come here, baby. Come here, come. My dog is such a little scaredy cat. She goes under the bed and then she can't see. All right. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I see somebody has no audio. Everyone else can hear me, so that must be something going on with your setup over there. So hopefully you can follow along with the workout, right? And then also, just FYI, okay, Miss, we heard you. For the 1 hour class, just FYI, we do have recordings available. So like, let's say the 12 o'clock class doesn't work for you. If you sign up, you'll get the class at whatever time is convenient to you, because you could just always replay the recording, all right? So if you have any injuries, another thing, you guys, listen to your bodies. If you have any injuries, obviously I have no way of telling unless you turn on your video for me. So I have no way of correcting you. I will be cueing you through everything and explaining progressions for everything. So listen to your body. Try to go at the entry level of whatever progressions we're doing. And if that's not attainable or accessible to you, get into a child's pose, get into a stretch that, you know, you feel is attainable to you while we get through that movement, right? And also, if you have any questions about things like that, injuries, etc., I have no idea. Injuries, etc., just feel free to DM me. Actually, I'm gonna drop my DM, my DM here. My IG. This is how you guys can communicate with me if you have any questions about class. I'm a certified personal trainer as well as pole dance instructor based here in New York. So if you guys have any questions about personal training, any of these classes, etc., you can go ahead and listen in or send me a message through my IG. We're actually a little bit late. We're running already 3 minutes behind as to what I typically start at 12:05. Any suggestions? I really don't know. I'm so sorry. I'm not sure what to tell you as far as you not having audio, Chris. Sorry, you guys. I'm trying to help somebody out. Other than that, I really don't know. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So hopefully you guys have your mat. Again, your mats and your blocks are not all the way necessary, but they will aid you through the stretch. So hopefully you have a nice comfortable spot and you have your mat laid out for you, and we're ready to start, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and set my timer. We're gonna do a 45-second work, 10 seconds off for our warm-up. Actually, we're gonna move through all the movements back to back, actually. All right, I'm just setting up. So we have, for the warm-up today, you guys, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we have 5 different workouts. We're going to do them back to back. I'm going to break them down for you real quick, and then you can obviously you're going to go ahead and follow along with my movement. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is an elbow. Is a plank, right? So you're going to be on your forearms. All right. So we're going to be in an elbow plank. Okay, that's the first movement. You want to tuck that tailbone under. You want to contract that core and squeeze through that entire leg base. So your glutes, your quads, your calves, everything should be working in your plank, right? That's the first exercise. Second exercise is going to be a plank to pike. You're going to come onto your hands for this one. All right, you're going to go ahead and, again, start in the plank position. Now you're on your hands. You're going to bend the knees, okay? Bend those knees down to the ground. Push back and hover those knees over the mat. Stretch the legs. And let's go ahead and round that back to come back to plank, and then just repeat, okay? That's the flow that we will do for the second exercise. The third exercise, you're going to go ahead and do squats to stand, right? So once you're done with that last set, get ready. You're going to have a few seconds in between. Get into your squat position, but you're not squatting for strength here. You're squatting just for mobility. So you're going to go ahead, bend the knees down, reach your hands down, drop the hips. Bring the hips back up, squeeze at the top, and repeat, right? So bend as much as you need to reach the floor and drop those hips and glutes down to the ground. That's your squat to stand. From there, we're going to go ahead and do a deep squat hold, okay? So you're going to hold this squat here. You're going to drop your hips in between, all right? So you're going to look like this. Drop your hips all the way down. Drop that squat nice and low. You can have your feet a little bit wider if you need to. You can have them a little bit closer, right? Drop those tailbones down. Keep that chest nice and proud. You're just going to hold this squat here for 45 seconds. If you cannot keep your heels down, Grab onto a wall or whatever you can and just give me the deepest squat that you can, right? With a little bit of assistance. So if you can't keep your heels off the ground and dropping those glutes down, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna grab some assistance and maybe stay here. I want you to squat nice and low and try to drop your hips down as much as you can, keeping those heels on the floor, okay? From there, we're gonna go from a deep squat hold to an internal rotation of the knee to mobilize that low body and mobilize those hips, right? So you're gonna be here and you're gonna go ahead and rotate that right knee in, back to squat. In, back to squat. In, back to squat. We're gonna go ahead, okay? We're gonna have a 15-second break in between each exercise, but I want you guys to really take your time in that last exercise, okay? We're gonna end maybe a few minutes later today. I hope that's okay. Maybe like 5 minutes later than usual, right? All right, we're gonna set that timer, you guys. The timer is on. We are starting in 9 seconds, so get ready for that first exercise, which is a plank, okay? 2 and 1, let's go. I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know, because my timer does not have a beep or a sound, so I will be cueing you through this. You're looking down at your mat. Once you found your position here in your elbow plank, okay? Actively push away from the floor here. Do not collapse your shoulders. Tuck your tailbone under. Contract that entire core. Squeeze through the glutes. Squeeze through the quads. Squeeze through that entire leg base. Is squeezing. And make sure that you're breathing. Start to regulate your breath. All right, you have another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, you're on your break. You're getting ready to do your next setup, all right? Again, we're gonna start in a plank position. From here, we're gonna get into a pike, right? So again, we're sending it back. Good, let's go ahead and drop the knees. The clock starts now. Round the back to your plank. Okay, so you're, again, drop the knees, hover the knees down, and come back. Make sure that you are breathing in the nose, out the mouth. Plank, knees come down, hover, send it back, extend the legs into your pike. Come back, let's go. You have another 10 seconds or so. So really extend those legs into that pike. Start to open up those hips and hammies. Let's go ahead and release it down. Next thing, you guys. Squats to stand. Get ready, right? To squat down and then come back up. Let's go. Reach it down. Squeeze at the top. Drop those hips down. Squeeze at the top. Let's go. Woo. Keep going. Squeeze at the top. You have another 15 seconds. Drop those hips down. Remember, we are squatting. We're squatting for mobility here. We're not squatting for strength. It's a very different thing. Good. Last one. You're on your break. Whew. So for this next one, we're just simply going to hold that deep squat. Okay, remember to hold on to whatever you need, a wall or your bedpost, whatever core assistance if you need it. Let's go. 45 seconds down on the clock. We're dropping those hips down. Your chest is nice and proud, so don't round that back. Keep the chest super proud. You're going to start to feel a little bit of burning in the fronts of those shins. That means you're working, right? Again, chest is nice and proud here. All right? Heels are on the floor. Heels are on the floor. So whatever you got to do, you got to find some assistance on there to keep those heels on the floor. I need you to do that right now. Okay? Good. Doesn't seem like we're doing much, but we are. Right? So we have the last exercise, you guys. Last exercise, okay? It's going to be the same thing we're doing now, but we're going to mobilize the hips by doing an internal rotation of the knee. Let's go. Let's go, you guys. Move through that squat. Woo. This is probably going to be the toughest one. Ooh. We're in this together, you guys. Ooh. Keep going, side to side. Good. So, if you're not in a deep squat, remember, holding on to whatever you need to keep that squat nice and low. Keep going if you're doing your internal rotations and you're done. Got you. All right. We are done. We are done. We are done, you guys. We're going to get right into some abs, okay? So let's get into that ab superset, all right? To continue to warm up the body, but also get that ab work in, right? So we're going to do hollow holds to start. And then we're going to do side plank weave. All right, I'll show you what they look like. You're here. You're bringing your shoulders up and away from the floor in this, right? Like you're doing a crunch, basically. Shoulders are up and away from the floor, all right? Heels are about 2 feet off from the ground. No cheating. You're reaching your hands towards those feet. Keep that core super tight, right? Tuck that tailbone under. Squeeze through the core to keep your hollow hold. We're going to hold that for 30 seconds. 35 seconds. And then I'm going to change my timer here for the ab work. And then we're going to go ahead and switch into the side plank weave. So side plank weave, you guys, basically you're going to be in a plank position. You're going to stack your arms on top of one another, right? As you know, when you do a side plank, you're on one of your arms, one of your forearms, right? You're bringing those hips up and away from the floor, reaching up, switch arms, stack it on top, switch, and switch. We're going back and forth. Keep those hips elevated, right? Keep those hips all the way up. Okay, and then you're gonna again move through your toes, nice and easy. Switch, right? We're gonna work for 30 seconds. We're gonna rest for 15 seconds for the abs, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get into that ab work. The timer is on, it is set. You guys can see me, I bet. All right, so let's go ahead and start with our hollow holds. Clock is on now, guys. Let's go. 30 seconds. Heels are up and away from the floor. Shoulders are up and away from the floor. You're creating this little basket, right? By really contracting through that core. Reach those hands to your feet. Reach them forward, right? Like you're trying to grab your feet almost. You have 9 seconds. Make sure you're breathing. And let's release. All right, next exercise. Let's get ready for that plank, right? You guys can see my whole body. Yeah, you can. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and switch. Reach up and keep those hips up. Contract through that core. And let's keep it going. You have only like 7 seconds left. Keep those hips elevated. You're on break. Oh wait, my timer's not even working properly. You guys have a 10-second break. You have a 10-second break. All right, so we have 2 more sets to go. You're on your break right now. My timer said 1 second break. Sorry, guys. All right, let's go. Hollow holds. Keep those shoulders up and away from the floor. Reach towards your feet. Keep those heels up and away from the floor as well, about a foot, 2 feet. You came to do ab work. Let's go. Your breathing should be super loud and obnoxious. And let's break. You have a 10-second break, my dears. We're getting right back into the next exercise. Let's go. Plank it out. Let's go. You're going to find that plank in the center. Right? So if you're going a little slower than me, that's okay. Just catch up to find your balance and keep it going. Let's go ahead and do that plank. You have another 10 seconds. Woo. And then we're back to hollow holds. All right, this is the last set. Last set of hollow holds. And then last set of planks we use. Let's go. Let's go, guys. Woo. It is burning. I don't know about you, but my core is burning. Let's go. Do not give up. You have another 10 seconds. Let's go. 5, 3, 2. Those hollow holds look easy, right? Until it's time to do them. Let's go. We have 5 seconds until we start the last set of our plank weave. Let's go. You're working already. Reach up towards the sky. Keep that core activated. Whew. You have another 10 seconds. Let's go. You came to work on your core. Whew. 3 and 1. Ooh. That was it, you guys. That was it. Grab your water. Woo. Grab your water. Let's take a sip of water. And then, let's get into a little stretching, right? So, we're going to go over by maybe 5 minutes. So what usually ends class at 12:35. We're going to end up at 12:40. All right, I usually am right on time, but today I was a little delayed. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lay our bellies on the mat, okay? Actually, you know what? Let's start with some cat-cows. So let's go ahead and get on tabletop position, okay? From here, you're going to go ahead and create a nice neutral spine to start. All right, and then you're going to go ahead and round the back, drop the head, pull the belly button in like someone's punching you in the gut. Really reach that spine up towards the ceiling. And let's go ahead and arch the back. Look up. Drop that belly button to the knee. Excuse me, to the mat. And let's go ahead and do it one more time. Round it up. Drop the head. And one last time. Let's go ahead and arch now. We're looking up at the sky. Dropping that belly button to the floor. Good. Let's go ahead and bring it back to neutral. Now we're going to go ahead and do some head rolls and hip rolls to kind of mobilize what we just did, right? So what we just did, we're kind of just moving it around. Let's go ahead and take it back to the other direction. Some neck and hip mobility here. Good. Let's go ahead and get into let's get into a cobra, right? Let's get into a cobra. So we're gonna start with a with our forearms on the mat. Okay, drop, make sure those hips stay on the mat the whole time. And you're gonna think about pushing the chest through those biceps. So pushing the chest forward, keep the legs planted on the floor. Everything is working, legs are super strong, all right? Chest pushes through, and then once it pushes through forward, we're arching to look back and find the wall behind one day as we're working on that back arch. Good, let's go ahead and release that. Open up the leg base. We're gonna still keep a super strong leg base here, all right? Squeezing through the entire glute, hamstring, quads, everything is working. Your hands are gonna come out in front. You're gonna roll those shoulders back, and now we're doing the same thing, but a little bit deeper now, a little bit more of an extension. Keep the hips on the floor. Again, think about pushing the chest through the biceps and through the arms forward first, and then bring those hands closer to the body. Deepen that bend. You could bend the elbows here. You can deepen that back extension and back stretch by getting the hands close, looking back, extend those arms. Maybe get the hands a little closer if you can. Keep the hips on the floor. And let's go ahead and get that opposite ear onto the mat. Oof. Give your back a little bit of a breaky break here. Let's go ahead and get into the child's pose real quick. You can revisit this pose anytime that you want to release your back, your hips, anything like that. Right? So you're reaching forward, dropping the hips in between the heels as much as you can, and reach forward, forehead on the mat. Good. Let's go ahead and get into a bridge, right? And then we'll do a low back release, and then we'll get into a little bit of low body, right? So keep in mind, the hour class, we have more time, obviously. These are kind of like the beginner exercises working towards other hip openers and flexibility things like splits and frog splits and all that stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and bring that knee to chest. Think about aiming that chin to chest as well, all right? Eliminating any arching that you have in that back. So your low back should be flush on the mat. So think about maybe tucking that tailbone, right? So that you're getting that low back flush on the mat. Kim, reach that that knee to chest as much as you can. Continue to push it towards your chest. Good. And while you're doing some low body here, this is very much a low back release. Let's go ahead and switch legs. All right, again, chin to chest. Get that air outside of that low back, right? On the mat, and get that chin. Why do I keep saying chin? Knee to chest, right? Try to really squeeze and compress here. All right. Then let's go ahead and release. We're going to get both of our heels on the floor. We're going to go for a mini bridge, right? And then in for example, our 1 hour class, we go into full on wheels and stuff like that, right? So your heels are about a foot away from the glutes. You're going to push actively, push aggressively those hips up towards the sky, all right? You're going to hold it here for 5. Squeeze really, really hard through those glutes. 3, 2, 1. Let's go ahead and release. Let's try to get that back low flush on the mat again. Again, think about maintaining the position of your back low back being neutral, meaning that you're not arching, right? You're not doing this. Your starting position is this, right? You guys see that? You're not here. You're here. That's your starting position. We're going to do it one more time, maintaining the integrity of that back and that spine. You're going to push those hips up towards the sky, squeeze through those glutes, all right? And we're going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and release. Great, great, great. All right. We're going to get into a hip flow right now. Let's get into a hip flow so we can do some low body, right? So we're going to go ahead and pike the hips up. We're going to walk the knees in just a little bit. Walk the knees in and out and plant those heels as much as you can when you release them down. Actively push away from the floor. So when you're in your pike, always actively push away from the floor. You're not collapsing into your shoulders at all. All right, let's go ahead and bring that left leg up. Right, try to give me your best standing split. Send it back down into your left side runner's lunge. All right, and then from here, You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna bring your upper body back up, and guess what? You're gonna bend that back leg. Let me go ahead and show you this side. I always end up on the wrong side. So you're on your left side, but I'm turning around so you can see what we're about to do here, okay? You're gonna create 90-degree angles first, front leg and back here, right? And then you're gonna tuck the tailbone under so that you're opening up this front hip flexor here and quad. All right, so maintain that pelvic tilt. Right arm comes up and over again. Creating more of a stretch on that right side. You're reaching over to the left side. Good, let's go ahead and bring both hands inside this left foot. Drop that left knee down. Bend that back leg, all right? We're going through this hip flow. I'm going it slow. You're gonna do it a second time, but you're gonna do it at your own pace, right? Now, you're gonna go ahead and get that heel to glute. If you cannot reach that heel to glute, just actively bring that heel to the glute and push it as much as you can. All right, let's go ahead and release. Tuck that tailbone, pop that knee off the floor. Now we're gonna rotate, right? Roll through those toes and drop that right hip down to the floor. Good. From here, we're rotating forward now to a left side half squat. From here, your chest is gonna stay nice and proud. All right, your right leg is gonna externally rotate up and back. All right, chest is nice and proud. Use that left elbow to push that left leg. Drop that right hip and right glute down to the floor. You should be feeling a nice, yummy situation happening here on this right side. Let's go ahead and transfer the weight over. We're gonna do everything we did on this left side now, right? So we're on the right leg, but we're doing this left side hip flexor situation. Tuck that tailbone under. Left arm reaches up. And let's go ahead and bring those hands inside that right leg. Good, bend that back leg. Try to get that heel to the glute. All right. Again, pop that knee off the floor. Let's go ahead and drop this left hip down. Woo. And now we're gonna go ahead and rotate it forward into a right side half squat. Push that right knee open. Keep that chest nice and proud. Externally rotate this left knee. Knee goes up and back. Toe is pointed or flexed. At this point is up to you, but just maintain the integrity of that point or flex. Let's go ahead and go on over to the other side. We're going to do everything we just did, but now you're going to do it at your own time. A little faster, a little flowier. All right, we're coming back. Now you guys should have more of an idea of what we're doing here. Go through your flow. Good. Good. Other side. Let's go. You guys got this, right? The more that you do it, the more that you will get into it. I love this flow. I think it's so great and functional for the low body. So you will be seeing it in my 1 hour class as well. It's a great way to start opening up that low body. All right. So if it's your first time doing it, you just really have to get used to it, okay? And then you're gonna love it. Good. And your last one, let's go ahead and pike the hips up. Let's leave the legs nice and wide. Widen them as much as you can so that you can reach your head down to the mat. Maybe get your forearms, get your forehead, right? You wanna open up those hamstrings. That's the idea here. Let's go ahead and bring those hands up. Windshield wipe or heel toe those legs together, right? And then we're gonna get into a hammy stretch, and then we're gonna probably end with like a 90-90 stretch or something like that. All right. You go ahead and face forward this way. Okay. So let's get into this hammy stretch. So if you don't have a block, right? Let's say you don't have a block, which I do have blocks, but just so I can give you guys an example, right? We're gonna do some waterfalls to open up the hamstrings, okay? So by that, what I mean is you're gonna go ahead and get all that booty meat out from underneath you, right? Your back is gonna be super straight. You're gonna reach your hands up to the sky, and then you're gonna try to fold over, right? And then at some point the back rounds, and then comes back up, right? It looks like kind of like little waterfalls here, right? We're gonna do this. Let's do it for another 5. And each time, try to reach further down. Keep that back super straight as much as you can. And reach further down, closer to your heels, closer perhaps to the other side of your heels or the bottoms of your feet, because that last set, what we're gonna do, right? If you have your block, I'm gonna show you now. You're gonna take your block. Again, if you don't have a block, a bottle of water, a remote control, I mean, a lot of things can work. If you cannot reach onto the other side of your foot, you're gonna grab your ankles, you're gonna grab your shins, whatever it is, right? Your calves. And you're gonna basically bend those elbows down onto the ground to try to bring those hamstrings to open as much as possible. If you can, you can, again, reach forward with your item, whether it's a block or whatnot, and then you're gonna bring it on the other side, right? Kind of like forcing yourself to really open up. So you're gonna hold on to that item. Think about keeping that back straight. Think about keeping the back straight and maybe getting those your elbows to bend. If you're not holding onto an item, get those elbows to bend onto the mat. Let's go ahead and come out of that, right? So a little bit of hammy flexibility. We're gonna get into, let's do some figure 4s and then some 90-90s to end, right? Bring that right leg, right ankle, to cross on that left knee. You're gonna hold onto the other side. So on top of that left knee, right? And you're gonna release your low body down to the ground, right? If this is not enough, you can start to bring that knee closer to the body. All right? You're opening up these glutes and these hips. Let's go ahead and do the other side, all right? 3, 4. Release that low body, upper body down to the ground. Bring that right knee forward. You should be opening up this left side glute. Good. Let's go ahead and release. We're gonna get into some 90-90, which are some of my favorite. Low body, right? So you're gonna bring this left leg in front, like so. Create a 90-degree angle with this foot. You're kind of like creating a 90-degree angle with this knee as well. The back leg is doing the same thing, except that it's the inside of that knee is facing down on the floor, and then the inside of that ankle is also facing down on the floor. So opposite of what's happening here. From here, you're gonna come on over, fold it over. Again, if you're beginning on this stretch, this is good enough. If you're feeling a nice stretch sensation here, good. If you want to take it a little bit further, bring your upper body closer to that left knee. Right? All right. Then we're going to go ahead and do the opposite. We're going to send it back, right? So keep that same leg position. Send it back. Get those elbows on the floor. We're opening up that front side now. Make sure you're breathing the entire class, you guys. Okay, let's go ahead and bring it up. We're going to go ahead and switch legs. You guessed it. Everything we do on one side, we must do on the other. Again, we're going to come forward on that right knee. If you're good here, you're already feeling it good. Challenge yourself the next class, right? Just make sure that every time you take it a little bit deeper. You don't have to do it all right now. So let's go ahead and just fold over if we can here. All right, keep going. Let's go ahead and send it back. All right, so like for example, again, if you cannot get all the way up to your elbows, you're already feeling a stretch here, then stay right here. If you can challenge yourself, send those elbows back and down. So let's go ahead and bring it up, you guys. We're gonna just do the same thing that we're doing here, but we're gonna move through our 90-90. So you start on one side, and guess what? You're gonna go ahead and rotate so that you're on the other side. That's it, basically. All right, so we're doing 90-90 internal rotation of that knee to kind of just move and mobilize those hips, right? So you're moving through that 90-90. This is such a good release for your hips, for your low body. You carry so much tension there, regardless of whatever our level of fitness is, because just work, stress, and the way you maybe sit at work, it depends. It all really holds a lot of stress on your hips. Good. Let's go ahead and lock that up. We're done here, you guys. We are done with class. All right. So we are done. Okay. All right, guys. So that was class. I'm sorry. I'm looking at some of my messages here. I like it dark. Thank you so much. Yeah, I came back to my natural hair color. I hope you guys are not confused. And you guys are not like, who is this brunette? What happened to the blonde? So yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you guys feel a little bit more flexier, a little bit stronger in the core. Remember, tomorrow's a new class. We'll be doing legs and stretch. Okay, and then next week we'll be doing on Tuesdays core and stretch, the same thing we were doing before. Okay, so you guys are very welcome. I dropped my IG on there. Okay, you guys are all amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Tomorrow we'll be working on splits. We'll be working on legs. We're gonna burn those legs tomorrow. All right, awesome. We'll be working on legs tomorrow. We'll be on that struggle bus together. So it'll be a great class tomorrow. Join me for a new class and some more stretching and strengthening of that low body, okay? You guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'm going to drop my IG on here again, just in case you missed it. Let's be IG friends. Send me, if you follow me, send me a little message and say, like, hey, I was in class today, just so that I know you're one of my students, and then I can follow back, because sometimes I'm kind of bad at that. All right, bye. You guys have I love the messages. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys have an amazing day. Thank you. You're welcome. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Be good to one another. Take care of yourself. Hydrate, eat well, be kind, spread love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for leg hits. Yay, lots of love. I love that. Yes, lots of love. Always. That is my motto. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Take care.